What's going on, Rolling Out TV? I have Chef and Baker Dana Herbert here with me from TLC's Cake Boss.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about a lot of good things today. We're going to see where you are. I know you just won the series from Cake Boss, the greatest baker, correct?
Yeah.
Right?
Great
So
baker.
next great baker, right? So can you tell me a little bit about like the competition and your experience working with Buddy and how the show went?
Well, I mean the show was amazing. Competition behind the scenes is rough, a little catty back there from time to time, but I mean it was great. We worked really hard. You really learn a lot from some of the other competitors that you're with. So it was a pretty cool experience. And then after winning that, going to work with Buddy, now that's crazy. Sisters are crazy, family's crazy, but I mean in a good way. They're really skilled. They do a lot of big, awesome cakes, and that was like right up my alleys.
So tell me what it was like winning that competition.
Oh my God, winning! It was like you get there to the end. On one side of your brain, you're like, man, just let this thing be over. But on the other side, it was like amazing. It opened up like so many doors for me and my family. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Okay, now I watched the show, but I want you to tell our viewers a little bit of the background and what exactly you were competing for.
We were competing for a $50,000 grand prize, new car, and opportunity to work with Buddy.
All right, work with Buddy at his bakery, right?
Yep, at the world famous Carlos Bakery.
Okay, so you won $50,000. What was the first thing you did with your money?
Whew. First thing I did, I own my own shop. So I went out and got a little bit of equipment to make my life easier. And then we're opening a new shop. So I've been saving some for that and a little bit for the baby.
Oh, you have a baby. How old is your baby?
7 months last week.
Okay. And where did your passion for baking and being a chef, like where did that all come from?
Being crazy. No. I really attribute it to my grandmother. I used to hang at the edge of her counter, and she could burn. Grandma can hook it up. So I would just watch her making cookies and jams and jellies and all that.
So what, do you have like a recipe that she handed down to you that is like a specialty of yours?
I probably got a couple she doesn't know I have yet. Grandma likes to hold on to her recipes, but I've got my hands on a couple.
Okay, you got to share. You got to share at least two recipes with us because I know you focus on not only baking but healthy cooking and eating healthy, right?
Yep.
So, what recipes can you give us that, we can whip up at home that are pretty easy to follow?
That are pretty easy to follow. What do you want? You want desserts or you
Yeah,
want?
do dessert.
Okay, you want desserts. I have this off the hook cheesecake. I brought a copy of my cookbook for you, but it's a a peanut butter cheesecake with chocolate, caramel, and bacon.
And how do you make that? You got to give us some kind of
I gotta give you
secret.
some kind of
Yeah.
secret. Well, I mean, really, the secret to making cheesecake, in my opinion, is you have to almost liquefy the batter. Everybody's got their own techniques, but if you want that nice, smooth cheesecake, I put everything into the food processor. And then when it comes out, I put on the caramel sauce and then sprinkle bacon on it.
Why bacon?
Bacon is kind of like that sweet and salty contrast. So you have all this sweetness going on, and then you just come back with a little bit of smoky, salty.
All right. So you mentioned your cookbook. Tell us a little bit about your cookbook and what kind of recipes you have in there.
The Sweet and Savory Union, that's kind of like Dana's style on cooking. I could take anything from like chocolate and fuse it into rubs and sauces for like some of the meats and things like that. So I kind of play with savory ingredients, using them on the pastry side, and then using what people think are pastry style ingredients and using them in a savory fashion.
So you have a mixture of like desserts and like everything in there.
From